Hello everybody, Corey here. We're going to go over the trades and holdings for the YieldMax single stock ETFs and YBIT for July 9th. As a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I just gather data and present it to you for your information. YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please make sure you've read the prospectus, understand all of the risk provided within the prospectus. Let's see. All right, so our trades, how do we want to do this? I guess we'll just keep it zoomed in right here. We'll have to scroll. So we'll start off with AIYY here. Actually, I'm sorry, ABNY is our first one now. I forget about that. Let me scroll up here. So we have ABNY here. We do not have any trades. We do have our short call that expires on Friday with 155 strike price. We're currently underneath that by 2%. It looks like we have possible upside here of about 34 cents for ABNY's short call. So now we'll move over to the AIYY. So they closed out the synthetic that was going to close next week, or that was going to expire next Friday. It looks like the stock prices rose a little bit, so they decided to close it out. It still ended up costing them over $5 million to close this out. So that hurts. What hurts even more, I think, though, is rolling this out to just a month away. It cost us another several million to do that. So usually when we do stuff like this, right, we roll it to the future or whatever, and of course or change our strike prices, it's to make money. In this case we did it because, or to bring money in. In this case we did it because it was going to expire, but we also didn't bring any money in, on top of having to pay that much money to close it out. Of course, then we've had issues with Google Sheets not wanting to sum these up. Oh, it's going to do it today. So yeah, even if you take them closing those positions and out, opening new ones, or rolling them, however you want to refer to it, they paid out $7 million to do that. And then on top of that, so they had added 335 contracts where people have been buying into this, and that's this premium received here for the 6,700. So if we go over to the holds, or the holdings here, you can see those additions there. But we have, so our new synthetic, I didn't mention it was on the screen, but it's a $27.50 strike price, that's a decent strike price compared to what we've been doing historically over the past several months. We do have two short calls that expired this week with a $30 strike price and a $30.50 strike price, which we're currently under 2 or 3%. However, you know, that's like what, 56 cents and $1.06, so it's not much. However, we do have an upside here for AIYY of about 39 cents if the stock can get up to $30.50. And then AMDY here doesn't appear to be any trades, but let's double check. In fact, what I should do is leave this up on my computer, so then maybe I can see it without having to swap back and forth. Probably shouldn't zoom in so much. All right. So AMDY, we have the short call that expires Friday with the 182.50 strike price. We're currently underneath that 3%. We have a possible upside of about 52 cents if we can get up to the strike price for this one. And then for AMZ, we do have trades for those, but it looks like those are just adding 2 positions. They added 140 contracts there. So we can see that here on the holdings. So you can see right there, they added to the 202.50 strike price, which we're currently under 2%. And then we also have the short call, the 205 strike price, which are under 3%. We have a possible upside of about 59 cents for AMZ for the short calls. So we'll move on to Apple. We don't have any trades here, but we have a short call that expires Friday with a 230 strike price, which are under 1%, which is about $1.32. We only have a possible upside of about 11 cents for Apple. Then we move on to Coney. We have no trades. We have 2 short calls that expire on Friday, 230 and 235 strike prices. We're currently underneath those 4 and 6%. And we're looking at about $1.10 upside possible here for Coney for these short calls. Then we have Dizzo short call with 100 strike price, which we're underneath by 3%. This one just keeps going down. Looks like we have a possible upside of about 50 cents for the short calls. Then we have the synthetics also that will expire next week with a 105 strike price, and we're currently underneath those 8%. Then we move on to Phoebe. We have a short call of 550 that expires Friday. We're currently underneath that 4%. We have a possible upside of about 71 cents for Phoebe for these short calls. Then we have GDX. So yeah, I don't know why these say added. I guess I did not, I don't know. I guess I failed. Yeah, I did not change the formula because I can see it on this next one also. I failed to change the formula. So basically it was looking up to its own holdings to see if it was new or old, instead of looking up to the day before. So I apologize. So some of those say added are actually new. So for GXY, for example, you can see here that they closed out the synthetic position with the $38 strike price that expired next week, and they've rolled that out to August 16th with a $36 strike price. And then you can see all of the costs right here. But let's go back over. So yeah, for GDXY here, those should say new. I apologize for that. And they're all going to be messed up like that unless I go change the formulas, which honestly isn't a huge deal. It just made it easier before. But yeah, I can tell here, you know, with it having the exact same counts, that tells me it's new and shouldn't say added. But anyway, we have the 2 short calls here, the $36 and $37 strike price. We are over the $36 strike price by 11 cents. Of course, that is also where the majority of the contracts are, so we don't have any upside possible for the short calls. However, you know, the synthetics could go up faster than the short calls, bringing the stock down, and then it could make the price go up. As you can see, though, today, well, actually today, GDX went up only 1 cent, and GDXY went up 4 cents. So you never know. Alright, then we have GUI. All GUI did was add 90 contracts to their position, so we can stay here. And then you can see, obviously, this one should be new because 90 and 90. But, which is crazy because the one they already had expires next week. So, but now we just open one up that expires this week. So I don't know why that is. I know I thought it was odd when I saw they were even putting on one that expired on the 19th. So I don't know. Who knows? That could be a typo. There seems to be quite a bit of typos lately, and I'm not sure exactly why. The other thing I really don't know why about is why they don't get fixed. Because used to they would also get fixed. Now they just sort of linger out there. And maybe it's just the one where they have the cents on them that is just irritating to me because it jacks me up every day. But, oh well. So here for GUI, we do have the 2 short calls. The one that expires this week, which is our brand new one, a 192.50 strike price. We're underneath that by 2%. And then we have the one that expires next week, which is the original, has a 195 strike price. And it's interesting that this right here even says negative 3% here. It's almost like it's reading it as it's a synthetic, which then makes me wonder if, I didn't think I had, but you know, now that I think about it, I probably did. This probably said synthetic before because it was 719, and when I changed to short call, I had already but that doesn't make sense either because we have this down here. So let me change something real quick. All right, I don't know, but I have updated that. Yes, there we go. I guess I should now paste values, or else it'll be something might change later. So now we can see the correct color on here. So it should show the 195 strike price, and we're underneath, the stock's underneath that 3%. So now we can see we have a possible upside of around 50 or so cents here for GUI. And all right, so we'll move on to JPMO. We don't have any trades here. We do have a short call that expires on Friday with a 215 strike price, which we're underneath 3%. It's actually a significant amount considering this is JPMO, about $7 or so there. But anyways, if it could go up that far, there's about a 68-cent upside there for the short call for JPMO. And then if we move on to Murney, it looks like we have some trades which cost this fund a lot of money. I am probably just one of few lucky ones that follow Moderna and knew better, and when this stock was up, sold it, and I'm thankful that I did, because it just come all the way back down to where it normally trades at, and that sucks, especially for those that may have had it and didn't sell when it was up. But I only knew how it reacted a lot because I would swing trade Moderna a lot. I haven't done it since it did that big jump, though. I haven't done any swing trades in quite a while, but anyway, so this sucks. So now we're just making this loss permanent here, closing out the $160 strike prices that we had, and see, we paid $43 a share there to close out the synthetic put, which cost $10.5 million. And then to roll those, even again, it cost us money, about not quite $1 million, but a significant chunk there to open up the new positions. With the expiration date a month away, at least we have the strike prices pulled down to $115. So that's going to help. And then on top of that, they ended up adding 40 contracts to everything. So they added the 40 to the synthetic and to the short call. So if we look at the holdings here, we can see the new synthetic positions and then our new short call there. So we have the 121 and the 122 short call. We're underneath those 4 and 5%, and we're looking at about an upside of around 71 cents here for Murny, if it can get up to that 122 strike price. But these expire, you know, in just a few days, and I don't know. It would have to, in order for it to get up there, we would have to have good news on Moderna. I don't think it's going to get there on its own, just because if the market's going up, right? Especially I've seen a lot of the healthcare stocks going down lately for some reason. And then if we move on to MSFO, the only trades that we had here was them adding 40 contracts to the positions. So they added 40 contracts to the synthetics, and then they created a new short call with a 467.50 strike price, which we're currently under 2%. Then we also had the 470 and the 475, which were underneath those 2 and 3%. This gives us a possible upside of around 60 cents for MSFO for these short calls. If we move on to Misty, we don't have any trades here. We do have 2 short calls that expire on Friday, 1380 and 1410. We have a possible upside here of about a $1.50 for the short calls. Then we also have our synthetic positions that will expire next week, which are currently underneath 16%. So we only have, I'm looking at the shares. Well, they do have plenty of cash sitting there. They have almost 400 million sitting there in cash, and we definitely aren't going to need that much to close out these synthetics. I'm not quite sure what the plan is for all of that money, unless they're going to be putting some of that into treasury. I don't know. But anyway, okay, let's move on to Nestle. We don't have any trades. We do have a short call with a 705 strike price, which we're underneath 3%, with a possible 48-cent upside for Nestle for the short calls. Then we have NVD. We do not have any trades. We have 2 short calls, 132 and 133 strike price. We are under the 132, 62 cents it appears, and then we have the other one, we're under 1%. So this only gives us about 13-cent upside for NVIDIA. But then we could, for the short calls, of course, we could always go up more based on the synthetic position. But let's see. So NVIDIA itself went up over $3 today. So NVIDIA went up 50 cents. All right. So then we go to OARC. So OARC closed out of their positions, which I'm actually surprised here because there was a typo on here, because if you look at our last holdings here, we have our synthetics that don't close until next week, right? Just like all the rest of them. They don't expire until next week. But then on the trades today, they're on here, but they show that they put the expiration date of July 12th instead of July 19th. Usually what would happen is the custodian would just put it on the trades exactly the way they had it, then there would be an error, and then they'd have to fix it. But it didn't happen this time. So I found that interesting. They just actually closed that out, the 19s, even though this said 12, and moved on. So that was nice to see that they could just, see which one it went with. But anyway, so they closed those out. Let's see. You want to see over here, they paid $1.50 and 40 cents to close those out. And then they opened up our new positions there, which is the next two lines below it, if you want to see all the data there. But we're going to move over here to our holdings, and we can see that, and it's weird that this is actually 920 because none of the rest of these were pushed out to 920. They were pushed out to 816. So anyway, so we have the strike price stayed the same for the synthetic, and then the short call here is a $46 strike price. Of course, we are already over that by 5 cents, so we don't have any upside here for the short calls. In fact, looking here today, OARC did not change 1 cent, but ARC itself did end up going up 16 cents. PayPay didn't have any trades today. We do have a short call with a $61 strike price, which were underneath 3%. Possible 52-cent upside for PayPay for the short call. We do also have the synthetics that expire next week, in which the stock price is 13% below the $67.50 strike price. Then we'll move on down to Snowy. We don't have any trades here. We do have 2 short calls that expire on Friday with 146 and 147 strike price. It looks like we have a possible upside here of, I don't know, somewhere around 75 cents or so for Snowy. But looking over here, we actually went down today, and now that I see this, I do remember this. We were down, let's say, about $4, but Snowy only went down about 50 cents here. But let's see, our strike prices are 146, 147. We are below those 6%. All right, so let's move on to Block. We don't have, Squee. We don't have any trades here. We do have the synthetic, sorry, my throat's starting to get tickly. We have this short call that expires this Friday with a $66 strike price. We're currently underneath that 2%, but that's only about $1.49. Does give us about 43 cents possible upside for Squee for the short call. For the synthetic, it expires next Friday. We have a $70 strike price, and we're currently underneath that by 8%. Okay, so then we are going to move on to Tesla, but I'm going to tell you there are lots of trades here. Lots of trades here. And so I'm looking at this, and I need to figure out what happened, I guess, here. Because I'm not quite sure what they did. There's just like so many trades. I don't know, these, yeah, so those are all Tesla. So there's 12 lines of trades. 4 of those are going to be, okay, so 4, 4, and 4. So what they did, I don't even know why. I don't know why. So you can see here, we have 260 and 265. Yeah, I don't know why they're keeping two synthetics on $5 apart, because I don't know what good that does. But this is what they've done. They've taken the two synthetics and the short call that they had, and then they've rolled them all forward. But we're going to go over here to our trades, and you can see here, in fact, let's put a line here. There's so many, we need a line. Those are all the trades for Tesla. So, oh, no, those are all of them. So you can see the first two, they closed out the 225 strike prices, and now, and with the same expiration date, now they're 260. And then they took the 220s, and they're now 265. So here they were $5 apart, here they're $5 apart. Again, not sure why we need synthetics $5 apart. But anyway, then they took the short call that they had with a 245 strike price, and now we have them at a 275 strike price, but then these were pushed out to next week's expiration. So there's all that data, and then this is the back end data if you want to see all these numbers here as far as all of these. I hate it when it does that. The first set of the synthetics there, you can see they made $112.5 million. And then if you look at the second set of synthetics, they brought in $5.87 million. And then you can see here, just, you know, if we look at these two short calls, we had to pay almost $64 million to close those out. Of course, then we have the ones we opened here. All right, this isn't going to work. I'm glad I'm almost done. I apologize. My husband is snoring, and I knew better to do this in the bedroom. But on my defense, he wasn't actually in bed sleeping when I started my video. So hopefully you don't hear him too much over there. Obviously, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, so everybody is asleep here in the condo, except for me. Only because these are taking forever to upload. I didn't want to put these off until the morning. So let's go back over and look at the trades. So we have the Tesla trades here. You've seen all the data. All of these are brand new trade strike prices. So we have our short call we just talked about here with a 275 strike price. We are underneath that by 5% at a 262.33 price. Possible upside of 79 cents here for Tesla. And this expires next week. So let's look at Zomo. I don't know if there were trades, because then I have Ulti. Yeah. Yeah, and that's jacked up. Okay. So we have Zomo here. And I should hide that first column because we know those aren't accurate. Also, I don't know why I don't have something to auto hide this column, because I hide it on the other ones. Oh my goodness. So I hate doing stuff I should be doing on a computer, on an iPad. Alright. Anyway, so Zomo, we were looking at that. So really, they just added 2 positions here, 50 contracts. So we can see that over here on the holdings. So they added to the synthetic. They actually created a new short call. We can see by looking there But they have 3 short calls total of 113, 115, and 117. And it's weird because yesterday, or at this point, the day before now, Monday, we closed at 112, and then we were below a 111 as of Tuesday. So, yeah, I don't know why that came down there. But anyway, we had the strike prices were underneath those 2, 4, and 5%. The majority of the contracts are sitting at the 115 strike price. We have a possible upside of 55 cents here for the short call for Zomo. We also have the synthetic that expires next week, and it has the 115 strike price, which we are currently under by 4%. All right, so then we have Crash here. We did have a trade. Let's see what it was. Crash Tesla. I don't know why that says new there, because that should have said, okay, sorry, I'm looking on my other sheet. So let's go over and we will look. Actually, I see why. Hold on. All right. So I fixed my formula. I don't know how I didn't catch some of these before, but here for a Crash, let's see. Well, trying to look here. I guess we did go over, yeah. We finished up Zomo. Sorry, I had to pause the video so I could fix something. I thought it was on Crash, but I thought it was on this tab, so it threw me off. But anyway, so we have the Crash there. So we have the 2 trades here. We have the long call is what they ended up doing. I guess because Tesla, oh, I guess I could have seen that down here, huh? Tesla closed at 262.33. So I guess it was getting too close to that long call. So they ended up selling that long call with the 265 strike price, and now they have one with the exact same expiration date, but we now have a $400 strike price. So we can see here they closed this out for $6.84 a share, and their new one, they only had to pay 4 cents here a share. We only have, what, 295, so not too many right now. So anyway, that is the trades. So we can see the new 295 here. Which still is odd because it's going to expire next week. I guess they just wanted to keep them together. So anyway, we have the, wow, so Monday, Crash was at $13.26, and then on Tuesday, we were at $12.97. So now we've dropped below $13. Just by watching Crash do this with Tesla, I don't know about these funds, about these short ones. This one actually, these Crash right here is going to scare me away from these, which is what's happened with a lot of people with the other stuff, right? Tesla was the first one to, it tanked when it first came out, and now Crash has come out, and now Tesla's soaring. So I don't know. Anyway, we have 2 synthetics that expire on Friday, and we are currently above those 14 and 10%. But we have that synthetic that expires next week with a strike price of 170, and we are above that one by 54% for the synthetics, which we would want to be below that. But anyway, that's where we stand with Crash. And then we have our all-new Fiat fund that will be coming out. And this was a typo. This should have said coin. but I just saw that. So, and actually I didn't even, this is my, yeah, I don't even have it right over here at all. Obviously you can tell which one I copied as the template. All right. So let's just copy that and we can paste that here. There we go. All right, so obviously all of these are going to be new. Not that that part even matters, but anyways, we have 110 contracts to start us off. The same thing that they start off with, 2.5 million and 125,000 outstanding shares. All right, so we have the short put that won't expire until next week, next Friday, with a $212.50 strike price. And then we have our long call with a 330 strike price. And then we have our synthetic sitting at a 220 strike price, which makes sense, right? Because we're at 220 as of close today. Not a lot else to show here. I don't know. Well, this doesn't matter because we don't even have a stop price. But we should still be able to, so hold on. I don't know if I just, no, I didn't copy that data down in general for some reason. There we go. Oh, it's because over here, it's just because of how these are coded here. I actually have these changed to the correct things, which is why the numbers are different on the side. But anyway, you can see here where those are when we start. Not sure what time fiat will be coming out tomorrow. This is clearly wrong. I don't know why this one would be right and this one would be right and the synthetic was way, way, way off. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, I know why. Because I don't know why that says what it says in that formula. So I am going to have to, is it messed up? So it is, it's messed up here as well. And I guess I've just never paid any attention to it. I'll have to come back and fix those. And I don't know if it's just because of the moving around of stuff previously or not. Here at the bottom, I'm gonna read this one as well, just in case I forget. And I almost forgot to go over YBit. All right. So since we've done the two short ones there, let's go over here and look at YBit. And I think we did have some trades. We did. I don't know if it was just adding 900. Let's see. Let's just look real quick. So YBit here, yeah, it looks like they added 925 contracts to what we had there. So no closing out of anything. So we'll just look at the holdings here real quick. So we have a short call that expires on Friday with a $20.50 strike price. And we're currently underneath that 1%, which is 22 cents. YBit has a possible upside of 17 cents based on the short calls. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today. Sorry if you can hear the snoring in the background. Yeah, I should have known better. But anyway, hopefully this gets out to y'all sooner rather than later. Thanks for sticking it out there with me, and I'll talk with you later. Bye.